What's up, everybody? This your boy Trayvon here with Talk TV, and today we're going to be reviewing 3 fragrances that I found in my Macy's backstage area from the house of Sapil. I think I pronounced that house right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sapil Rave for Men and Sapil Rave for Women, as well as Rave Intense for Men. We are going to start off with Rave for Men. This fragrance here is a fresh, spicy, woodsy citrus with a little bit of a creamy undertone, and it is a very, very good hidden gem of a fragrance in terms of the scent profile and the performance. So in the top you get some pepper and some Calabrian bergamot. Now in the top you get some spicy, juicy, citrusy accord, and then as you get into the mid, you got some geranium, some pink pepper, some patchouli, Sichuan pepper, vetiver, and some elemi. Elemi gives it a more of a fresh, spicy undertone, and then you have the soft spiciness from the pink pepper and some soft, sweet earthiness from the patchouli. Then it gets a little bit of dry, a little bit of a dusty, masculine type of appeal comes to that vetiver. The Sichuan pepper even makes it a little bit more spicier, and the geranium gives it like a rosy, undertone. Not too much. I don't get like that white floral rosy undertone from the geranium, not too much. But overall, so far from the top into the mid, you get like this creamy, juicy citrus, as well as a fresh, spicy undertone that comes along with it as well. Now, once you get into the base, you do get some cedarwood, some labdanum, and some ambroxan. Now, the ambroxan gives it like a familiar ambroxan that's like, like a sauvage type of ambroxan, but not too much of it. It's just a little bit similar, just a little bit. And then you get some like like a spicy, like a soft, spicy cedar type of accord that comes behind that ambroxan, and then you get that leathery undertone with the labdanum that gives a little bit of more of a resins type of appeal. And also from the labdanum, you do get more of a subtle, warm coziness in a base. So overall, in this fragrance, you just get like a subtle, creamy, like bazongas of a fresh, spicy, creamy, juicy bergamot type of a scent. And it's warm, it's fresh, it's creamy. Like I said before, has a little bit of an earthiness undertone as well. But this is best suited for like, high heat, warmer weather. But when I was testing this out, the heat diminished this quite fast. So I would say if you want to wear this outside, if you're doing any outdoor events, you can, but don't expect too much of longevity. But inside climate controlled like temperatures or indoors, this lasts a little bit longer. I forgot to show off the price. The price is pretty inexpensive. Focus, come on, there you go. $11 in the Macy's backstage area. I did see this fragrance in like, a TJ Maxx. I seen it at Marshall's, but I didn't see this at Burlington. Because usually Burlington's have their fragrances inside the cologne box that it comes in. Marshall's, TJ Maxx, this is kind of outside the box. You find like, the box it's not next to it or anything. It didn't come in a box at all. But yeah, backstage area, if you want to try this, like, Macy's backstage, TJ Maxx, or Marshall's. The performance was quite average, or at least close to average. I got a good solid 4 to 5 hours, depending on how much you spray. I sprayed a lot with this, but it lasts that long because I was outside and I was sweating. And it seems like, the sweat, unless you sweat the fragrance out of my pores and stuff like that, I sweat the fragrance out of my pores, and it didn't last that long. But, I did test it in like climate controlled, like, inside doors where it's like air conditioning, like normal temperatures where it's suitable. And it is suitable for that. It lasts a nice amount of time. But in the heat, it seemed like the heat diminished this, but it does make it push out, but it doesn't make it last. The longevity is kind of cut in half. So when I was in like indoors, it lasted on me for a good, 5 to 6 hours max. So the longevity and the projection on this was good within the first hour. It just doesn't stay in the first hour, sit close to the skin, not too close to the point where you won't be able to smell it or people won't be able to smell you. But for the price, $11, this does its thing quite nicely. You know, very inexpensive. It's not gonna bust your head open as far as in terms of prices. You know, average, decent performance for the price. I think this is a great pickup. If you're the person that's, you know, that doesn't want to wear like your good fresh smelling stuff or anything like that, but you just going like to making a quick run here, a quick run there, going out with friends or anything like that, going to the gym, you know, those type of situation, this will be great for those types of events. But wear it however you want, however you see fit. But yeah, this is great for the price. Wonderful, wonderful for the price. Also, if I didn't mention before, when it dries down, you get this creamy ambroxan, like Sauvage type of appeal as it dries down. You know, the fresh spiciness kind of tones down a little bit, but it's still hanging in the back seat. But mainly you get like this juicy, this subtle juicy citrus of a creamy ambroxan, like Sauvage type of scent. But it's not entirely like Sauvage. It just reminds that appeal, that undertone, you know, that little subtle undertone with that ambroxan reminds you of a like Sauvage oriented type of a scent. Just to put that out there. Now the next one is going to be Rave for Women. This also ran me $11 and some change. The atomizer on this is pretty decent. For the price of the fragrance, the atomizer is pretty nice. I didn't show the atomizer on this, but I'm gonna show it off real quick. It's pretty much the same. So what I get out of this one, I get like a fruity, warm, smooth, mellow, subtle creaminess of an accord of a scent out of this one. This one reminds me without the shadow of a doubt like a Mercedes-Benz F Black. Not F Black, Club Black. Also a Dior Homme Intense. Now, if you were to take Mercedes-Benz Club Black as well as Dior Homme Intense and you merge it, this is a cross between the two. It says for women, but this is without a shadow of a doubt in my brain that this is unisex. Both men and women can pull this off. Now the performance is awesome. The performance is really, really good. When I sprayed this, you know, like at work, like, you know, in air conditioning, it leaves a nice scent trail. I got a good solid 6 to 7 hours. If you want longer than that, overspray. In the initial opening, you do get a little bit of a synthetic vibe, just a little bit, but that doesn't last too long. But as far as the notes, you do get some plum, saffron, and some iris. You do get like that leathery fruitiness from that saffron and that plum, and then that iris gives it like more of a, you know, that Dior Homme Intense touch, you know, from that iris, like that irisy Dior Homme Intense iris, or, you know, that powdery floralness that you get in Dior Homme Intense, you find in here. It's not really authentic as the Dior Homme Intense, but you do get similarities of that inside of here. So as you get into the mid, you do get some like orris root, some Bulgarian rose, and some jasmine. Now the jasmine gives you a little bit more of a white floral touch that pops a little bit harder, and then you get some of that, some more florals from that rose, and then you get some more powderiness from that orris root. That orris root mixed in with the iris, giving it a more of a, you know, white floral, more of a powdery touch, and also making it warm and a little bit creamy, to my nose at least, makes it really, really similar to those two fragrances that I mentioned earlier. Now, the jasmine makes it like more of a, you know, white floral, a little bit of a, like fresh, a little bit more clean, but, you know, it's a little bit subtle because this fragrance is a little bit more warmer, rich, and, you know, as you get into the base, you do get some papyrus, amber, and some vetiver. Now, the vetiver in here is what makes it unisex and makes it a little bit more masculine as it dries. And then the amber warms it up, making it more cozy, and it makes it more like, you know, fall and winter oriented. And then that papyrus, the papyrus makes it a little bit more of a like a herbaceous, smoky touch. You know, a little bit more of a, you know, a leathery type of a smokiness, not too much, but it's a little bit more of a like herbaceous, like soft, spicy, woodsy type of a scent. So overall, in this scent, you do get like a warm, cozy, little bit of a white floral touch as well. and it does gives off like nothing but that powderiness, that very familiar powderiness from like Dior Homme Intense. And for the price of $11, that's as close as you're gonna get to like a cheapie of those two, Mercedes-Benz Club Black and that Dior Homme Intense. The projection on this was good between like an hour to an hour and a half, set close to the skin, but that scent trail that it leaves is beautiful. Beautiful scent trail. Age group. I forgot to mention the age group with this one. This one is like all ages. I mean, if you like it, no matter what age you are, rock it. Same with this one, but this is more of a youthful to middle age, because it has that little sweetness, playful, sweet, attractive appeal to it, but it doesn't have any maturity or any of those fragrances at all, so all age can pull it off. So up next, last but not least, we have Intense for Men. There you go. Okay, so this one I got at Marshall's for $15, but I did see this one also at Macy's backstage for the same price as the other two, for like $11. But I really do like this one as well. I like this more than the other Rave. This one, Rave for Men. I like this one better than that one. Here's why. This is a cross between, if you were to take like the original Invictus by Paco Rabanne and merge it with Prada Luna Rosa Ocean, and it's like basically though, if those two fragrances had a baby, you would get this. And this is very strong and very, very long lasting. This is awesome. I mean, the atomizer is just the same as the other one, but that smell, man, it's like a very deep blue, rich, fresh, spicy, like a little bit of a candy-like blue, oceanic type of a sweetness. This is awesome. If you see this anywhere, pick this up. This is gonna be outside the box. So all you gotta do is just test it out and see for yourself. But I promise you, man, this is great. So in the top, you get some lemon, ginger, lavender, and some mint. Now you do get some of that, that little bit of like a citrusy tartness from that lemon. Then you got like a soft spice of a sweet ginger that comes up behind that. Then you got like that little powdery florals from the lavender. Then you got that fresh spiciness that comes from that mint. But overall, you get like, a little bit of a little tart citrusy touch from that lemon and then that ginger. Then the mint comes in right after that. But as it transitions into the mid, you do get some of that dry, sweet spiciness from that cardamom. Then you got some juniper, apple, as well as some geranium. The juniper gives it a little bit more of a, fruity, dry pininess undertone behind that cardamom. The cardamom still maintains that sweetness, as well as the apple. You don't really get too much of that apple, at least to my nose. I mean, you do get a little bit of that apple. It's an undertone. It sits in the backseat a little bit. It's not really too dominant. It does its thing. It's there and it makes itself noticeable. But it's not too much of a main player or a star player in this fragrance, but it does its thing. It's still noticeable, still visible. And then you got that geranium, that masculine, floral, rosy-like geranium you get into the mid. Now, from the top into the mid, mainly you get like a fresh, soft, spicy, somewhat of a tart citrus, and a sweet undertone coming from that cardamom and a little bit of that apple and that earthy pininess from that juniper. But once you get into that base, you do get some vetiver and some tonka bean, as well as that amberwood. The amberwood makes it a little bit more of a woody warm, and it has like a dry, like sweetness from that tonka bean, which that cardamom and that tonka bean on my skin makes it a little bit more of a deep, rich, sweet, bold type of like not candy-like, but it does have like a sweet dryness to it that makes it. I think that's where the longevity comes from, because throughout the longevity of the fragrance, you get like this sweet, like bold, candy-like, oceanic, fresh scent. As at the same time, the freshness is a little bit dialed down. It's more sweet than it is fresh, but you do get some freshness. Then lastly, that vetiver gives it like a dry, woody, smoky, sort of a green like a dry, fresh type of a accord or appeal to the fragrance throughout the longevity of the fragrance. So basically, like I just said, you know, Paco Rabanne's Invictus, Prada's Luna Rosa, Ocean. If they were to have a baby, you would get this. And it is phenomenally good for the price. Smells very good for the price. Lasts a very, very long time, at least on my skin. The longevity on this on me was a good 6 to 7 hours with projection between an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how much you spray. And I did spray a lot of this because I'm an oversprayer. Then it sits close to the skin, giving you a nice scent trail, nice scent bubble. I wore this at work and got a compliment. The young lady said that I smell nice. He said it smells good. She asked me what it was. I told her what it was, and I told her, hey, if you want to get this for, like, you know, a family member or a boyfriend or whatever the case may be, it is inexpensive for $15. Get your hands on it. She said it smells really nice, and I cannot help but to agree with her more. This smells really good for the price. If you see it anywhere, snag it, because fragrances like this, they pop up on rack stores and stuff like that, and you probably won't see it for another like 5 to 6 months. So get it while it's hot. So if you want me to go into order, I will say this one first, this one second, and this one third. I highly recommend you get all three, but if you only want to get like two, I would go with these two. If you just want one out of the three, I would go with this one. If you are a big fan of Mercedes-Benz Club Black, or you always wanted to get your nose on Club Black but wasn't able to get your nose on Club Black, this would be the one for you. Hopefully. I mean, it does have similarities, so I'm pretty sure you'll like it. So, that's all that I got for Scent Talk TV, ladies and gentlemen. As always, you know what to do. You gotta like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit this notification bell so you don't miss anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. And you already know, be safe out there and be blessed. Have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace. Ooh.